Major dragnet in Maryland, several agencies, including Prince George's County's Sheriff's Department, arresting nearly 100 suspects wanted for domestic violence-related crimes. DC News Now's Tim Reed has more on the crackdown.
Sheriff John Carr is calling this a very successful operation, arresting 83 people with outstanding warrants for domestic violence. Carr says he's sending a message his department will not tolerate these crimes.
My mother was a victim of domestic violence through her first marriage.
Kimberly Smith Blocker is glad to see law enforcement cracking down and putting domestic violence suspects in jail. It's personal for her because her mother is a domestic violence survivor.
It's unfortunate that when it comes to that particular violence, that where it is truly one that is a badge of shame, it's a badge of silence. And so the more that we're able to bring that to attention, the more that we're able to show that there are consequences for those actions.
83 people were arrested during a recent domestic violence warrant operation conducted by the Sheriff's Department.
For the month of October, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we want to send that message out about 1, education, 2, about providing those resources, and 3, actually apprehending those offenders.
All those taken into custody were wanted for both violent and non-violent offenses.
So were they not just going after them in the first place? Why did it take this whole scandal? Were they just in one big bust, they arrest 83 people for domestic? They should have been arrested. Come on now. Domestic, and see, I disagree with domestic violence on either side. Either side's man or woman. Nobody should put their hands on nobody. Women shouldn't put their hands on a man, and a man shouldn't put their hands on a woman. Why? How is that a healthy relationship when we solve our problems with physical violence? What are we, children? Are we children? Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Crackdown was supported by state police and Prince George's County officers.
We actually go out at nighttime, and this will be in the middle of the night. We start around 10 o'clock or so, and we go up until maybe 8, 9 o'clock so that we can make sure that we catch those offenders at home.
The sheriff says his department is planning more operations like this one in the near future. In Upper Marlboro, Maryland, Tim Reed, DC News Now.
Absolutely crazy. I'm happy that people are being arrested. Let's get over into this next video and see what else we can find out.
Tonight, we are learning more about a major operation that led to the arrest of dozens of people with outstanding warrants for domestic violence. Our Alexis Wainwright shows us what it took to bring them in and the impact this roundup will have on families in Prince George's County.
83 people arrested across Prince George's County.
It is something that is extensive.
One late October night, over 150 sworn deputies and officers helped round up suspects wanted on outstanding warrants.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out.
Sheriff John Carr leading this growing operation.
We're starting to bring in other partners outside of Prince George's County. We're starting to make sure that that awareness is going throughout the state. So you're looking at sexual assaults, second-degree assaults, first-degree assaults. So it is very dangerous, even though we were arresting some of our women, because men are abused as well, which I think isn't highlighted enough.
The warrant roundup targeted 195 people across Maryland.
I could be here in Prince George's, I can abuse somebody, but then I may move to Howard.
Days after the sweep, people are still turning themselves in.
Even over the weekend, we're still getting folks to come in. So we will be updating consistently of those individuals that we were looking for. We'll be able to apprehend them later on in a different day.
Unfortunately, Prince George's County has had very high numbers as it relates to fatalities over the year.
Yvette Clark with the Progressive Life Center, a family advocacy organization, says operations like this help survivors and families heal.
We need accountability. So many families that we encounter, are afraid. They're having to change their addresses, they're having to change their names.
Sheriff Carr says this sends a firm message to the community.
Domestic violence will not be accepted here in Prince George's County. It also lets those survivors or those who are going through a domestic violence situation know that we care.
In Upper Marlboro, Alexis Wainwright, WUSA 9.
100% correct. 100% correct. You can't, doesn't matter men or women, you cannot tolerate any kind of domestic violence. You cannot tolerate any kind of domestic violence. You got to round them up. I'm happy that they rounded them up. So it is good to see. I wonder why it took them so long to actually start going after the warrants or people who had outstanding warrants. Maybe they just needed more help. Absolutely crazy situation. It's an absolutely crazy situation. All right, everybody, remember this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.